What is going on, guys? ExtraTERRYaki here, Emperor Teriyaki, Yaki Boy, whatever you guys want to call me, or whatever you guys really know me by. Welcome back to the ExtraTERRYaki channel for all things Star Wars, or in this case, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Today we're taking a look at my 1 week progress to my Clone Commander 007 ExtraTERRYaki 10-year anniversary free-to-play account. I cannot be asked to cut a 5 hour video into like a few different videos to show how the account progress started. So we're just going to start right here on week 1 and show you guys where I'm currently at and what we will be working on tomorrow, because I will be going live tomorrow on my main YouTube channel, which if you guys want to catch me live on that, unfortunately I can't do links yet, but the link will be in the description. But without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into this, and we'll talk a little bit more about tomorrow's stream and what the plan kind of is. All right, here we go. Level 74 for you guys, full on free to play. Just to kind of show you, I technically should be close to 80, honestly, by now, or at least 81, but I took my time in a couple sections of the game to make sure things were 3-starred because of OCD-ness and all that for that. So we're stuck there. My fleet should be a little bit better, but I started doing the fleet that I want to work on a little bit later than I actually anticipated. So we are kind of stuck on fleets right now. Also, I held off on going to level 60 for a little bit because I did want to kind of get into a shard with a few of the guildmates. For those of you who don't know or haven't read the thumbnail, I am in Return of the People with like 10 or so other content creators in here. We're all doing free-to-play accounts for the 10-year anniversary and all that. And so this should be a fun one, but let's go ahead and hop into collection here. We're kind of on my base teams that I was building out. Basically, I'm going to build out the base teams, including the LST teams that will be put in here. But right now, my main thing is the no touchy, which is all the characters we're getting in the Lightspeed tokens, plus the characters I'm so far choosing. With the extra Lightspeed tokens we're getting, we obviously already got Hera and Sabine. I'm probably going to take both of them up to Relic 5 soon, but we'll see, because I kind of want to make sure I get these 3 up to at least Relic 1 before I start bumping them up further. But with our extra Lightspeed token that we would be getting Rebel-wise, I'm more than likely going to go with Captain Drogon. If something else changes, it'll probably be Mon Mothma, but for right now, it is Drogon. When we get our Jedi ones and get down into the Jedi, we will more than likely be choosing. Originally I had Padawan Obi-Wan, but I also started this a little bit later than anticipated because I wasn't thinking about it at first. But I'm going to be using the Carbonite Lightspeed tokens to get Poncho Bros up to 3-star Gear 12, and then I'll farm them the rest of the way. So I'm thinking of doing Kyle Katarn, and you guys will see why, but also, Kyle is now farmed alongside his ship, so this could still technically change. And when we get down here, I haven't chosen the particular droid or Empire Lightspeed token yet, but my original plan was Scout Trooper, and it still might be Scout Trooper, but I'm still kind of unsure on it. We'll see when we get to that point. When we do our Rebel one with the droid Lightspeed token, I'm going to be doing 3PO and Chewie. When we get down here for the Bounty Hunter one, I'm going to be doing Battlesleya Organa because she's needed for 2 GLs. So that's pretty much a given. Now, this last one I'm kind of stuck on. I kind of want to do IG-12 and Grogu, but you can also do Paz. And the reason why I want to do IG-12 and Grogu is it's a fleet farm. And if I do IG-12 and Grogu, it frees up an extra fleet farm to farm an actual ship that I might possibly need. But if I do Paz, that gives me 2 free Zetas instead of 1 free Zeta that I think IG-12 and Grogu has. So I'm kind of at a dilemma here, but right now I do have it set as IG-12 and Grogu. So we're more than likely going to go over this more in my live stream tomorrow. Sorry, just got done eating, burping, trying to hold it all in. It's late at night, Thanksgiving nights, and I wanted to get this video out, but I didn't want to do it throughout the day because I knew everybody was going to be busy. So it's better to do it later. And then also, we got my Assault Battles tab. I kind of have all the teams that I'll be kind of going into this, at least Challenge Tier 1 Assault Battles with. Uh, some of these will change, like Places of Power will most likely change the team. Secrets and Shadows will be the same, even though you can technically use Phoenix. I'm going to be using at least OG Night Sisters for the time being with Death Trooper Prettia, because Death Trooper Prettia's zombie combo is kind of a little nutty. Actually, I should say these three as a combo is kind of a little nutty. And then we're going to try this team for Ground War Challenge Tier 1. And then obviously Fanatical Devotion. This is what we're going to be trying to go with until we unlock Grand Inquisitor. But we won't have this for a while anyways. And then now we're going to get into the farms, which this is what we're going to be working on stream. We're going to be kind of doing it in the same aspect that Matt Master did his last couple streams that he did, or I'm going to ask you guys for helping on this. But right now, for my home one farm, this is the first fleet that I'm going to be going for, so that's why I call it the home one farm. It's not like a main farm, but it is like the start farm that I want to do. So I'm going to try and get like a home one fleet, everything 7 stars and all that stuff, and ready to go. But as you guys can see, we're also farming Imperial Troopers here, which are also needed for assault battles. 2 assault battles is what you could actually use them in, actually. So we are farming Gideon, Veers, Range Trooper, and Piet. You guys also see Iden here, but Iden is only here because I am farming for Vulture Droid. We'll get into that in a little bit. Piet, I'm not going to be using the Lightspeed token on Piet because we're not going for Executor first. We're actually going Profundity first, but we will be going for Executor at some point. So I'd rather just farm out Piet since I'm not going for Executor first. Cantina Energy, I still need to finish out, but I am trying to get TIE Silencer up to at least 5 stars. Fleet Energy, there's probably going to be a couple more farms on here, but these 2 are the main 2 farms that I want to do at the start for Fleet Energy. Marin, just because she's on the first section of fleets. Kyle's on the 3rd section, so there's actually no, Kyle's on the 2nd section, my bad. So there's that. Also, we're only farming this one for Ravensclaw, or yeah, Ravensclaw, I guess is what it's called. Just double check. It's been a while. Yeah, Ravensclaw. He'll be basically relic by the time we get Ravensclaw, hopefully. If not, we'll gear him as far as we can and just try and hold off on the Lightspeed token before taking up any higher than like gear 12 and whatnot, even though the Lightspeed token takes him up to gear 13. Guild shop, I need to add a few more people here. I also need to add 2 sections for Mark 1 raid tokens, Mark 2 raid tokens, get 1, get 2, get 3, etc. Cantina shops, I need to flesh out a little bit more, but we are farming for, or we are getting Biston and POW out of here for right now. POW's for the Profundity section part of the fleet. Eventually, Squad Arena, I am farming Cassian first, but I do have Kanan here because eventually I'm going to want to add Kanan to that Phoenix squad. Galactic War Shop is actually not these 2 currently. These are actually going to be for the Assault Battle Farm section. But I am doing Biggs and a couple of other people. Biggs, K2SO, I believe it is, and like 1 other for Galactic War Shop right now. And then we have the Lightspeed tokens, and then what we're going for unlocks for this beginning section, or I should say the home 1 farm. But we'll be working more on this tomorrow on a live stream. But once home 1 is done, like home 1 in general, like when the fleet is actually like everybody at least gear 12 abilities and all that, then we're going to go switch it up to the Assault Battle farm, which I am going Assault Battle focus first. Then I'm going to go into Jabba. Then I'm going to go into Profundity. Then I'm going to go into Leia. Then I'm going to go into Executor. And then I'm going to go into Pirate King Hondo. So that is like the long-term plan for this account right now. But eventually, what I have been thinking is making this account my actual main account when we get to that point. Because my main account is Lightspeed bundles and kind of a mess right now. So I'm trying to fix that one up. But Right now, I only have 2 regular energy section farms of what we would be farming so far in the assault battle section. These are not including the light speed tokens, so that's why we are only having like 8 farms here right now. We probably could have 10 farms total, like adding 2 extra characters to the farms. I do need to add the cantina nodes, or the cantina energy, the fleet energy, the shops, and all that stuff. So that's another thing we're going to be working on. Is so we're going to be finishing up and polishing out the home one farm section, and then finishing up and polishing out the assault battle section. And then once we're done with that, when I'm off stream, I'm going to go and take them and add everything into an infographic, and we're going to do like an actual farm guide video for this specific account, is what the plan is. Originally the plan was to try and get the farm guide video out before an update happened or before starting the account, but because of the light speed tokens and all that stuff, that kind of changed everything. So I decided to start it right away, but I already knew kind of what I wanted to do. Is just making the infographics is honestly the hardest and most time consuming spot. So that's where we're at with that. So once we get all this literally polished out and finished, that's when we'll go and do the infographic and the actual video farm guide for this specific account, which includes like the lightspeed tokens and like what we're not going to focus on because of lightspeed tokens, and what we will focus on because of lightspeed tokens. And then if it gets enough traction, or if enough people want, I will go and create a non lightspeed token version of this farm where it does the assault home one assault battles in into those specific ships and GLs in order. But so each section, I'm gonna try and make it, as I said in my last video, as well as on my first live stream when I did create this specific account, was each section is gonna be kind of like a pillar method. Like if you guys know an older Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes player named Warrior, he created a pillar method farm guide, which I'm basically trying to format these specific farms. So home one would be like pillar one, assault battle would be pillar two, Jabba would be pillar three, profundity would be pillar four, Leia would be pillar five, and then so on and so forth. So that is specifically the plan for that. And then I'm also trying to get including the lightspeed token teams, I'm trying to get the base teams that we would have when you have all the lightspeed tokens and these specific farms are done, not including GLs. That is why it's called base teams. But eventually we will change this to 5v5 or territory war and 5v5, because it's basically almost the exact same counters. Maybe some things a little bit different, but basically same counters. But that is what we're looking at here. This is another thing we'll be working on tomorrow. And then as for ships, I'm not going to be full on working on Ghost and Phantom 2, but I am going to at least upgrade their abilities and still use them within my home one fleet. But my main home one fleet, if I go into fleets, I did change it up. We are going home one Admiral Akbar, obviously. We're going to go Biggs, Cassian's U-Wing, Raven's Claw, Ghost, Rebel Y-Wing, Phantom 2, and Biston's U-Wing. Now, you guys might be thinking, but you're forgetting the B-Wing, the Rebel B-Wing. And yes, but no, I'm not forgetting it. We don't currently know where it's actually going to be at for farming wise, which is why I have not added it. Which is also why I am taking that. Besides needing him for Leia, which is why I'm taking that first Rebel Lightspeed token and using it on Drogon, or at least that's the plan still, is using it on Drogon. Because once we find out where the B-Wing is going to be, I'm going to be hitting up that node or whatever it is every single day. And then that's when I'll change out probably Rebel Y-Wing and put B-Wing in here, or maybe even put B-Wing starting with Cassian's U-Wing and Raven's Claw, and then have Biggs as like the first reinforcement, and then use the two Phoenix ships and Biston's U-Wing has like the reinforcements there. And then the first actual big fleet that I plan on working on, which is Again, if we go back to my squads and look at home 1, the reason why we're farming Iden Versio, Vulture Droid. So we go back to fleets. I'm planning on going Mal as my first big dark side fleet because with home 1, that's going to lead us into Profundity. Profundity already destroys Executor, which is why I'm not going into Executor first, which is like the main reason why I chose not to go Executor first. Although there are a lot of people still going Executor first. I don't blame them. I'm not going to get on their case about it, but like, just so you guys know, you will get absolutely bodied by anybody going Profundity first. Just an FYI, you guys will beat pretty much anything else, but once Profundity comes along, you guys will get absolutely bodied. That is the reason why I'm going Profundity first, and then Mal, or I should say Mal, then Profundity, then Executor fleet-wise, and then obviously in Endurance, Negotiator, and Levy, and then whatever else comes out after that. But that is the full plan for fleets and ships right now. Is the Zeta fleet? I don't know if this will be like the actual thing I'll use, but it'll probably definitely be Vulture Droid, TIE Silencer, and hers for now, or whoever's 5-star at that point, and then probably the 3 bounty hunter ships at this point is probably what's going to end up happening. I just put this there because I did plan on trying to work on the Geo fleet first, but basically it would be defensive fleet and offensive fleet for territory war and GAC. But anyways, that is honestly actually it for this little first week upgrade and kind of where I'm at. We're at almost 200k galactic power. Also, I did kind of want to go into the era unit here. Like I said, I was a little bit late on certain things, so I'm only level 9 with him. I'd probably be level 12 with him right now. But I have, which is why I'm a little low on crystals. I probably wouldn't have any crystals at this point, but I have purchased about 2 or 3 of these and 1 or 2 of these so far. I wish I could have purchased one of these ones, but those are basically what I purchased just so because otherwise I would be stuck at level 7 with him right now. But if I would have thought about this earlier when I started the account, or even because I started the account the day before the actual update happened, but I would have done this from the start, and I probably would have had at least a level 12, maybe even 13 Stormtrooper Luke at this point. But for now, we are kind of stuck on 9. We are kind of somewhat getting close. Like, honestly, I could be greedy and purchase another one of those and probably be able to level him up to level 10. But it wouldn't be worth it because he technically can't do this until about quite literally until about level 15. Like that's how ridiculous this event is. Like you can't even do this before level. Like you can attempt it, but you ain't gonna complete it. If you level 15 or more, yeah, you'll complete it, but you ain't completing this one. I know because on my main account, my Stormtrooper Luke is level 17 and can't even touch this one. So that is where we are at with this week 1 update for this free-to-play account. My Clone Commander 007 ExtraTERRYaki account, which will most likely become my main account. But stay tuned, that may or may not change. We'll see. But I'm going to head out, and I will see you guys around noon Pacific Standard Time tomorrow, Friday. I don't know if I'm going to do a just YouTube stream or a YouTube Kick and Twitch stream, but either way, I will be streaming at around that time tomorrow. Peace out. Love y'all. And thank you all for the support. And also on that first video, still surprising me with all the views on it. Second video, not so much. But that's kind of to be expected. We'll see what happens as we go along. But I don't expect to get too much viewership, especially as I should say right now, but it'll gradually grow. I'm not going to like beg people to subscribe and watch. But without further ado, again, head out. I'm going to head out. Love y'all and see y'all tomorrow.